प्रसार भारती अभिलेखागार की प्रस्तुति सदाबहार सुनहरे दौर का अनमोल खजाना।
To defend the country against external threats. Even at this very moment, they are keeping vigil in deserts and inhospitable terrain to safeguard the unity and integrity of the country. India's foreign policy aims at establishing bridges of understanding and friendly relations with all countries, especially our neighbors. This policy has paid significant dividends. In the international and multilateral sphere, India has always played a constructive role. We were one of the first countries in the world to advance the cause of a nuclear weapons-free world. Noted singer Mrs. M.S. Subbulakshmi has been honoured with the country's highest honour of Bharat Ratna. Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam was also honoured with the Bharat Ratna. For the father of India's missile program, the award is in recognition of his contribution towards self-reliance in defence technology.
कुछ ही देर में परेड शुरू होगी। इसमें आप हमारे बहादुर सैनिकों के साथ-साथ उन हथियारों और रक्षा उपकरणों को देखेंगे जिनसे वे देश की सीमाओं की रक्षा करते हैं। आप देखेंगे जमीन से जमीन पर मार करने वाली मिसाइल पृथ्वी तथा भारत का मुख्य युद्धक टैंक अर्जुन। यह हमारे रक्षा वैज्ञानिकों तथा इंजीनियरों की गौरवशाली उपलब्धि है। भारतीय सेना के बहुनाल रॉकेट लॉन्चर, स्ट्रेला मिसाइलें, DRDM युद्धक वाहन, BMP-2 किस्म के युद्धक वाहन और पेंटून पुल भी इस परेड में प्रदर्शित किए जाएंगे। सेना के दस्तों के बाद नौसेना की टुकड़ियां मार्च करेंगी। भारतीय नौसेना त्रिआयामी अत्याधुनिक सेना है जो देश की समुद्री सीमाओं की रक्षा में सदैव तत्पर रहती है। नौसेना के बाद भारतीय वायुसेना के फुर्तीले जवान मार्च करेंगे। हमारी वायुसेना दुनिया की चौथी सबसे बड़ी वायुसेना है। भारतीय वायुसेना देश की हवाई सीमाओं की सजग प्रहरी है और युद्ध के समय थल सेना तथा नौसेना को भी सहायता प्रदान करती है। परेड में वायुसेना के सबसे नवीन वायुयान उड़ान भरेंगे तथा 65 वर्षों के दौरान उड़ने वाले कई पुराने वायुयान राजपथ पर से गुजरेंगे। परेड में तटरक्षक बलों की टुकड़ियां आएंगी। इसमें सीमा सुरक्षा बल, केंद्रीय रिजर्व पुलिस बल, भारत तिब्बत सीमा पुलिस, असम राइफल्स, दिल्ली पुलिस और केंद्रीय औद्योगिक सुरक्षा बल के मार्चिंग दस्ते भी शामिल होंगे। भारत की विविधता में एकता को प्रदर्शित करने वाली विभिन्न राज्यों एवं संगठनों द्वारा तैयार की गई 16 झांकियां इस बार राजपथ से गुजरेगी। इन झांकियों में हमारी समृद्ध सांस्कृतिक विरासत और प्रगति की झलक देखी जा सकती है। आज हम उन बहादुर बच्चों का स्वागत भी करेंगे जिन्होंने राष्ट्रीय वीरता पुरस्कार जीते। अलग-अलग हाथियों पर सवार ये बच्चे राजपथ से गुजरेंगे। अब से कुछ ही देर बाद आवाज जवान ज्योति पर प्रधानमंत्री श्री इंद्र कुमार गुजराल और रक्षा मंत्री श्री मुलायम सिंह यादव उन महान सपूतों को श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करेंगे जिन्होंने देश की बलिवेदी पर अपने प्राणों को न्यौछावर।
On behalf of my colleague Wing Commander Praful Bakshi and myself Nalin Kohli, we extend a very warm welcome to all our viewers here from Rajpath, New Delhi, where the country is celebrating its 49th Republic Day today. Indeed, it's a wonderful morning here at the Rajpath. Fairly good visibility. One can clearly see Rajpath, how tastefully it's been decorated, the Indian tricolour, the logo of 50 years of independence, all of it lining the Rajpath, where people in thousands have come here to witness this Republic Day. And the Ashoka pillar right in front of the saluting dais. The 4 lions, the Ashoka Chakra, and a wonderful, very tastefully done floral pattern showing the logo of 50 years of independence. The 3 colors of the tricolour fluttering with the Ashoka Chakra in blue. Right across the saluting dais where the Honourable President of India, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Shri K.R. Narayanan, will be taking salute for this 49th Republic Day. In fact, it's a significant year this year, since the country is celebrating its Golden Jubilee celebrations of India's independence. And that's a view of the saluting dais area and the VIP enclosure around it, where dignitaries from the government as well as visiting dignitaries, including this year's Chief guest, the President of the French Republic, Mr. Jacques Chirac, will be arriving. The band right across the saluting days. Fairly good visibility this morning, which will make the flypast, which is the grand finale of today's Republic Day parade, wonderful. In fact, Praful, why don't you tell us a little more about that?
Thank you very much, Nalin. I will be telling you about the flypast, but now we can see the bands, the combined bands, which are standing opposite our saluting dais. They belong to 4 Jat Regiment and Kumaon Regiment Center. And as you know, the visibility is very good. It is very good for flypast. I can see the India Gate and the canopy far beyond. And the flypast is going to be of 51 aircraft this year, with 6 helicopters before that. And now I can see the cars and jeeps proceeding towards India Gate Amar Jawan Jyoti. This is the 50th year beautiful floral pattern logo. And this is the seat of the President of India, Shri K.R. Narayanan, who will be coming and taking a seat out there, and the beautiful canopy over the seat is very befitting, and the visibility is very good. I can see the foreign dignitaries now. They're discussing. That is the French dignitary now waiting for the President Jacques Chirac to arrive with the President. Beautiful visibility down the Rajpath, and as I was telling you, Nalin, the 51 aircraft fly past will have the present aircraft, the transport and the fighters flying down the Rajpath from India Gate side. There will be IL-76s, AN-32s, Dorniers. There will be Canberras, Jaguars, MiG-29 and the latest Su-30s. And here are the enthusiastic children, men, women and children in their beautiful attires, warm clothing, braving the winter chill. But in fact, the winter has now receded and the sun is beautiful. The golden rays of the sun are warming, and the enthusiasm of the crowd has warmed up. And you can see all the crowd is now waiting, looking down the Rajpath. Mothers are telling the children about the coming events. And here is a dignitary, one of the diplomats, now waiting for President Jacques Chirac to arrive. The Su-30, as I was telling you today, will be the grand finale, when the solitary Su-30 in the end will carry out a max rate turn and a vertical Charlie over the crowd. And here, this very crowd will be watching the Su-30 right over there. And Nalin, as I was telling you, this is the Ashoka pillar which you had described just now, and this is a new feature this year, and it looks beautiful in the red stone with the floral patterns all around. The beautiful flowers look like colorful soldiers beneath that. What do you think?
Absolutely. In fact, this marvelous parade, the 49th Republic Day parade, in this 50th year of independence, is going to be watched all over the world via Doordarshan's international channel. It's also going to all regional areas through the regional transmission, besides, of course, the metro channel. So hundreds and thousands and millions of people, not only in India but outside the country, also will get a glimpse of the Republic Day celebrations right here from New Delhi. It's indeed a magnificent parade, which not only presents a glimpse of the immense capabilities of our armed forces, who play such a vital role in defending the country and maintaining its territorial integrity and sovereignty, but in addition to that, one also has a cultural pageantry. That's the India Gate standing out clearly from here, and the canopy behind it, the Amar Jawan Jyoti, the eternal flame in memory of all those brave soldiers who made the supreme sacrifice, and the dignitaries, probably from the armed forces, the chiefs of the armed forces.
Three chiefs, the naval, the air chief and the army chief, will be going and paying homage along with the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister. Prime Minister, Defence Minister and the 3 chiefs will pay their homage at the Amar Jawan Jyoti. And here is a French naval dignitary discussing with his diplomats and other people. And this is the floral wreath right in front of us with a logo of 50 years of independence, and the beautiful chrysanthemum and other flowers, and the Ashoka Chakra, purple colored flowers. Nalin, this probably is the work of a genius, if I may say so.
Praful, indeed, very tastefully it has been done. Not only for the thousands of people, I assume about 25-30,000 people who will be watching live at the parade, lining up the entire parade route, but for millions of people around all over India and around the world, That is indeed a marvelous view right from the top of India Gate, which shows the entire Rajpath.
That is
And
what the pilots will see the Rajpath like. This is the pilot's view, the bird's eye view. I hope the birds are not there, but and here is the India Gate for the Amar Jawan Jyoti, and there you can see the dignitaries will be arriving, and there are the officials now. They are putting the last minute touches before the Prime Minister arrives with Defence Minister Shri Mulayam Singh Yadav.
In fact, Praful, as I'm sure you'll agree with me also, in addition to displaying the might of the armed forces, it's also a day of paying homage and looking back at the nation, the 50 years that we've come, and the sacrifices that have really gone into making this nation, and that Amar Jawan Jyoti, the eternal flame, signifying that. Indeed, a panoramic view.
That's right.
Clear blue sky.
The sky is blue, and that's what is now making us all enthusiastic, because the flypast will be beautiful. And this is the India Gate with the names of all the soldiers from First World War onwards. In fact, the largest number of casualties were from India, the largest volunteer force in First and Second World War. All the names are written out there, down from the top to the bottom. And Nalin, if you read them, you'll be surprised at what details the authorities have gone to locate the names of the people and which regiment they belong, and it is indeed a very touchy sight once you go and read those names. And rightfully that we must pay homage to those fallen braves who very selflessly went and sacrificed, of the soldiers of the Indian armies. Mesopotamia, I can make out, Haifa, and all those places, far off places in Africa, in Europe, European theatre, with all these soldiers who went and laid their lives. Now this is indeed a beautiful monument, yes. And there are the 3 service flags, because the soldiers belong to all the 3 services. And the eternal flame which keeps burning beneath this arch is the flame which symbolizes that the warmth for the soldiers will keep burning in our heart, not only in this canopy.
In fact, today's live telecast, which is a fairly large live telecast, is the first major live telecast that the Prasar Bharati Corporation is having after its formation. And that is the inverted armament with the...
inverted rifle with a helmet atop. That is a symbol of the fallen soldier, unknown soldier who fell in the battlefield. And that is his rifle and his helmet on top of that. And we have our total press corps, we can see that, braving the winter chill. And we have these guards from the Air Force, the Army, and the Navy in their ceremonial uniform, and the eternal flame in the brassware burning, and lovely flowers are all around. And this is, you can see some Jagannath, Jaili, Jaimukh, Jalal, Julu, Janakdhari, all with the regiments and names. And
in fact, Praful, as you would notice, this also is very symbolic of the character of the Indian nation, which is unity in diversity. People from all walks of life, from all religions, all of them together, who made this nation through eternal sacrifice.
And you can see the Prime Minister is arriving with his party in this cavalcade, and they are proceeding towards the Amar Jawan Jyoti, and they cross the Mansingh Rajpath crossing, and you can see the ambulance in behind.
Absolutely. Arriving just at India Gate, where he will lead the nation in paying homage to the sacred memory of those immortal soldiers of India. He'll be received, I think, by the three chiefs of...
That's right.
The chief of the Air Force,
the Army
and the Navy.
And here's the homage to Amar Jawan, which is about to begin. And you can see our Prime Minister being received. The inverted rifle.
This monument commemorates the indomitable courage of the personnel of armed forces who laid down their lives for the sake of the motherland. The Prime Minister, Shri I.K. Gujral, will be leading the nation in paying homage to these martyrs at the Amar Jawan Jyoti, at India Gate, at the other end of Rajpath.
Yeah. After the Prime Minister lays the wreath, the Guard Commander will order Salami Shastra, that is present arms, and Ulta Shastra, reverse arms. The buglers will sound the last post, and the officers in uniform will salute. And here it is, we can see our Prime Minister, the Defence Minister has arrived first. That is Shri Mulayam Singh Yadav. Yes, he is now proceeding with the guards, the floral wreath. Guards are carrying the floral wreath, they're the naval guards, and Shri Mulayam Singh Yadav is behind, and and on his side is Prime Minister Shri I.K. Gujral, and the three chiefs are behind the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister looking very solemn. Yes, the parade commander will call reverse arms.
The notes of the last post and a 2-minute silence now.
That was the guard now ordering Salami Shastra. 2-minute silence, and the bugler is sounding the rouse after the 2-minute silence. Thereafter, the Prime Minister and the other dignitaries will be brought to the saluting dais. And Prime Minister is being escorted towards the saluting dais. he signs on the book kept out at the Amar Jawad Jyoti. Every dignitary who comes here puts his signature in this book. Nalin, in fact, one must go and see this book. It is one of those. It is a historical document by itself.
The Prime Minister being escorted by the Defence Minister, Shri Mulayam Singh Yadav, in conversation with him at the moment, and behind them are the three chiefs of the armed forces. Admiral Vishnu Bhagwat of the Navy, Air Chief Marshal Satish Kumar Sareen of the Air Force, and General Ved Prakash Malik of the Army. The Prime Minister being escorted back towards his car, and then he'll proceed towards the saluting days on Rajpath.
And first to arrive at the Rajpath saluting days will be the Defence Secretary, Mr. Ajit Kumar, followed by the Admiral General Ved Prakash, Satish Kumar, Air Marshal Satish Kumar Sareen, then Vishnu Bhagwat, Admiral Vishnu Bhagwat of Navy, and fourth will be General Ved Prakash Malik, followed by the Defence Minister and then the Prime Minister.
Temperatures in Delhi have been fairly good today. In fact, the weather is wonderful. There's a lovely sunlight.
The visibility.
Very good visibility, as
That's
you were
right.
discussing also a little while ago. Excellent visibility and not as cold as it normally is, which makes it such a wonderful day for people here to be sitting here and enjoying not only the weather but this magnificent parade, which will start in a little while from now.
In fact, Nalin, because of the good visibility, you can appreciate the colors which are involved, the flowers, the flags, the uniforms, everything. Now you can appreciate everything so beautifully it comes. And watch the flowers. In fact, with poor visibility, in fact, these are not so
Yes, you're right. The colors do get subdued. And that indeed is
bird's eye view of a solitary car proceeding towards the saluting dais. Yes. There's the first car arriving with the Defence Secretary.
This probably is, Praful, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think it's probably among the largest and most magnificent parades in the world. Republic Day Parade of India undoubtedly is a magnificent parade which not only involves our armed forces, but also has the participation of children of different sectors of the economy, of social sectors also of the country. All of it, and the mere fact that thousands and thousands of people come here to witness it live, to be there at the function site itself, is a wonderful parade which really brings the country together in a way.
I agree with you. This is one of the largest parades of the world and undoubtedly is so well conducted. Now we have the Army Chief, General Malik and Mrs. Malik, being received at the saluting dais, and General Malik and Mrs. Malik will take the seat, but before that General Malik will stand to receive the President when Mrs. Malik takes her seat. And here is Air Chief Marshal S.K. Sareen, Satish Kumar Sareen. He is being received, and that is Mrs. Sareen along with him. And all the three chiefs will await for the arrival of the President. And now we have the Naval Chief, Admiral Vishnu Bhagwat, being received. He is, of course, his naval uniform looks beautiful from here. Mrs. Vishnu Bhagwat being escorted. And as I was telling you, the morning sun does so good to these colorful clothes and uniforms. And we have the Defence Secretary in conversation with the three chiefs now. And they'll be now lining up out there as their order of seniority, and so that they receive the other dignitaries.
Absolutely, in their full ceremonial dress, and from here it looks so wonderful. View of the saluting dais area, where you can clearly see the bands also across the saluting dais.
The Defence Minister Shri Mulayam Singh Yadav has arrived, and all the three service chiefs are receiving him at the saluting dais. And Defence Minister will now take his seat out, his place, and wait for the arrival of the dignitary. And in fact, one must say that it is a Defence Ministry show, because so much of work and arrangement has gone by the Defence Ministry. And in fact, Nalin, as you were saying, this is one of the biggest parades ever, and you're very right. I don't think so any other country can boast of such a parade. It is perhaps one of the biggest, one or two biggest parades in the world, because the amount of administration and amount of preparation which goes, and this is an amount of security arrangement. You can see the security guards which are walking with the car, very fit and very, very professional they are. And our Prime Minister has arrived, Shri Indra Kumar Gujral. That is his lead car. That is the Prime Minister. Very athletic, and Mrs. Gujral along with him, and they are now being received by the chiefs and other dignitaries, and Shri Mulayam Singh Yadav along with him, and now they'll be taking their seats. Here the grandchildren proceeding. Mrs. Gujral is being escorted towards her seat.
One can clearly see the entire area is absolutely packed with people from all walks of life, men, women, children, people from every section of society here to witness, and that's the VIP enclosure area, where senior dignitaries and
other leading citizens of India are welcoming the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister. You can see the cross-section of the society, Nalin, and that is what our secular country is about. You can see practically everybody from every section of society in such occasions.
And one can clearly see the bands opposite the saluting dais in their colourful attires, which are the military bands who will be playing the national anthem on the arrival of the President of India.
That's right. And I can now see the arrival of, should be the Vice President now, before the President arrives, and the cars which we saw on the screen, perhaps they will be escorted. The cars will be brought to a halt right in front of the saluting dais. Yes, the White Ambassador with our Vice President, and yes, Mr. Krishnakant and Mrs. Krishnakant are being received by the Prime Minister, and they'll be escorted. Yes. Perhaps the Vice President is telling the Defence Minister that he finds the entire setting so beautiful. I can read his thoughts and his smile on his face.
And in a few moments, the Honourable President of India, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, will be arriving at the saluting dais. And this year, our chief guest is the President of France, Mr. Jacques Chirac. Indeed, a significant visit from economic relations also, because India and France have shared economic relations for a long time. In fact, Mr. Jacques Chirac visited India earlier, way back in 1976.
And yes, that was his visit when he was the Prime Minister of France. And now we can see the President and our President and President of France in the limousine, which is coming to a halt in front of the dais, and they will be received by the protocol, the three chiefs and the Defence Minister. And
now, in fact,
first,
that is the wife
exactly,
of the Honourable President of India.
Nalin, this is Mrs. Usha Narayanan, who has been received first, and she was in the lead car, and the other car which we saw is bringing in the President, who will be escorted by his President's bodyguard. Mrs. Usha Narayan will take her seat, and this is her ADC which is escorting her.
And while we are waiting for the arrival of the Honorable President of India and Mr. Jacques Chirac, the melody of Swagatam, welcome, being played here on the public announcement system. A beautiful melody indeed, and so very apt on this occasion. Speaking of a warm welcome.
That's right. And our eyes now go, as we can see, down the Rajpath, the President's limousine with the President of France and the President's bodyguard escorting the President's car. Colonel Shergill and the commanding officer of the President's bodyguard, along with Major Bhavani Singh, the adjutant of the President's bodyguard, are on either side of the limousine.
They're looking so magnificent and colorful with their dress, and also it's worth noting that they are hand-picked men with no one being below the height of 6 feet, carrying their lances to the right of the horse.
They carry the lances, and if you can see the pendant atop the lance, which has got a red over white, which indicates blood before sacrifice. The blood denotes the sacrifice, and the white denotes the purity.
In fact,
it is the purity of sacrifice, which is the indication and which is the symbol of President's bodyguard.
In fact, if I may also add, Praful, it is the oldest regiment of the Indian Army when it was raised way back in September 1773 at Varanasi by the then Governor General. And it's indeed befitting that the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, the President of India, is escorted by the senior-most regiment of the Indian Army, the Presidential Bodyguards. They are hand-picked men with a minimum height of 6 feet. And besides performing ceremonial duties, they are trained horsemen, qualified paratroopers, and efficient tanksmen.
That's right. Colonel Shergill has now lined up his guards, and the President is being received. His limousine doors are open, and the President, Sri Narayanan, and President Jacques Chirac are being received by the officials and dignitaries, and they'll be introduced to the dignitaries and the 3 service chiefs before they proceed towards the seat. This is our President.
The Honorable President has just been greeted by the Prime Minister Indra Kumar Gujral and Defence Minister Mulayam Singh Yadav, and Mr. Jacques Chirac in conversation with the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister.
That's right. Mr. Jacques Chirac is now going to be introduced to the 3 service chiefs, as he shakes his hand with the Army Chief, General Malik, Naval Chief, Admiral Vishnu Bhagwat, and the Air Force Chief, Air Chief Marshal Satish Kumar Sareen. That's the Defence Secretary. He's shaking hands with him, and Mr. Jacques Chirac seems to be, he's beaming, he's smiling, and he's perhaps very happy because he has had a long association with India. When India held a large, huge fair, Indian fair in
Festival of India.
Festival of India, and when as the Prime Minister, Mr. Jacques Chirac visited India in 1976, he still has the memory of those days. He's been escorted, and he is getting the taste of Indian hospitality, which he's so aware, and in fact French are very appreciative of Indian hospitality.
Indeed, it's an important visit even from India's point of view. It would probably signify much closer and deeper and more meaningful ties between the 2 countries, between India and France.
In fact, if you have probably noticed, France has recently has stated, the French government has stated that India is going to be one of the leading superpowers, and that is what we are. There is no doubt about it. This is President Jacques Chirac waving at the crowd, along with the Prime Minister and the Defence Minister. The enclosure, the presidential enclosure, is well marked, well decorated, and there is our Prime Minister and President, everybody.
The Vice President of India, Shri Krishna Kant, was just in conversation with Mr. Jacques Chirac. and soon the parade will formally begin
Yes.
with the national anthem and showering of petals and a 21-gun salute.
That's right. The 21-gun salute will be provided by the ceremonial battery, which is opposite to us behind the trees. Yes, and Second Lieutenant Puneet Datta will be awarded Ashoka Chakra also posthumously. This is the Rashtriya salute by PVG. That was the national anthem and the 21-gun salute presented by the 45 Field Battery of the 16th Field Regiment, was commanded by Major Manoj Kumar Jain. The President's bodyguard forms and proceeds towards India Gate under the charge of Colonel Shergill, and we are now about to begin the ceremony. That is the mother of late Puneet Datta, Anita Datta, who is being escorted, and she'll receive the Ashoka Chakra on behalf of a gallant son who laid his life fighting the terrorist element in Jammu and Kashmir. This young officer carried out the supreme sacrifice. Iron Ashoka Chakra is the highest peacetime gallantry award which Second Lieutenant Puneet Datta's mother will be receiving.
अपनी यूनिट के साथ कश्मीर घाटी में आतंकवादी गतिविधियों से निपटने के कार्य में रत थे। उन्हें अपने गुप्त सूत्रों से आसूचना मिली कि श्रीनगर के पास एक तिमंजिले मकान में आतंकवादियों ने मोर्चाबंदी कर रखी है। दिनांक 20 जुलाई 1997 को सेकंड लेफ्टिनेंट दत्त ने अपनी सैनिक टुकड़ी के साथ उस घर को घेर लिया। अपने आप को घिरा हुआ पाकर आतंकवादियों ने सैन्य दल पर अंधाधुंध गोलीबारी आरंभ कर दी, जिसके कारण सैन्य दल का आगे बढ़ना असंभव हो गया। उस समय इस वीर अधिकारी ने गोलियों की बौछार के बीच अपने प्राणों की किंचित मात्र परवाह न करते हुए बारूद से दीवार के एक भाग को उड़ाकर मकान में घुसने का रास्ता बनाया। तभी एक आतंकवादी ने उस स्थान से गोलीबारी आरंभ कर दी। सेकंड लेफ्टिनेंट दत्त ने आड़ से बाहर आकर उस आतंकवादी का काम तमाम कर दिया। ये भागते हुए कि घर में घुसे आतंकवादी भागने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं, सेकंड लेफ्टिनेंट दत्त ने सामरिक सूझबूझ तथा दृढ़ता का परिचय देते हुए भागने के मार्ग को चट्टान की तरह रोक दिया। दोनों ओर से जमकर गोलीबारी आरंभ हुई, जिसमें इस वीर अधिकारी ने एक और आतंकवादी को मार गिराया। एक अन्य आतंकवादी ने उसके ऊपर खिड़की से स्वचालित अस्त्र से गोलीबारी की, जिससे अधिकारी सेकंड लेफ्टिनेंट पुनीत नाथ दत्त लहूलुहान हो गए और गंभीर रूप से घायल हुए। फिर भी इस वीर अधिकारी ने निशाना साधकर एक ग्रेनेड उस पर फेंका, जिसके फटने से न केवल वो आतंकवादी मारा गया, बल्कि उस मकान में रखा गोला बारूद भी नष्ट हो गया। परंतु दुर्भाग्यवश इस घटना में देश ने अपने इस वीर सपूत को खो दिया। सेकंड लेफ्टिनेंट पुनीत नाथ दत्त ने नेतृत्व, निष्ठा और कर्तव्य परायणता के साथ अदम्य साहस, देशभक्ति एवं उत्कृष्ट शौर्य का परिचय दिया। स्वर्गीय सेकंड लेफ्टिनेंट पुनीत नाथ दत्त की माताजी श्रीमती अनीता दत्त,
And this is the President of India, Shri K.R. Narayanan, presenting
लेफ्टिनेंट पुनीत दत्ता को मरणोपरांत
the medal to the mother
अशोक
of
चक्र
Lieutenant Puneet Dutt.
प्रदान किया गया।
That is the proud mother, Anita, walking now to take her place. She is indeed the proud mother, though she is sad, but she knows her son sacrificed, can made the highest sacrifice for the country.
Supreme sacrifice, the maximum a person can do for his nation, laying down his life, and he being given that Ashok Chakra posthumously, the highest peacetime gallantry award. That is the Rashtrapati Bhavan and Vijay Chowk in the distance, from where one can see the beginnings of the parade already in progress down the Rajpath towards India Gate, coming in front of the saluting dais, where in a few moments leading the parade will be Major General Surendra Kumar Avasthi, the General Officer commanding of the Delhi area. But before that, one
That's
can
right.
clearly see the three Mi-17 helicopters.
That's right, Nalin. The three Mi-17 helicopters are now flying at 300 feet from the Rashtrapati Bhavan side, and the Mi-17s are being commanded by Wing Commander A.K. Sinha. The lead helicopter is carrying the national tricolour, and the second helicopter is carrying the nation's 50th independence anniversary logo. They are flying steadily in a wick formation, keeping a perfect formation in spite of the visibility. The slant visibility is not very good still, but yet the formation is perfect, and you can make out how steady the helicopters are flying. That is the national tricolour approaching. The second wave behind will be the Mi-8 helicopters, which are about a half a kilometer away. And here is over the tree line, we have the three helicopters commanded by Wing Commander A.K. Sinha. That is the national tricolour just above us, approaching now, and the steady formation speaks very high of the professional capability of the pilots. That was the national tricolour and the anniversary logo of India, which has gone towards India Gate, and President of India is so appreciative of the formation. And President Jacques Chirac has just discussed with his people sitting out there, and now they're appreciating the Mi-8 helicopter formation, which is coming, commanded by Wing Commander A.S. Rao. Is leading. Helicopter is carrying the army flag, and the other two helicopters are carrying the naval ensign and the air force ensign, and they'll be showering the rose petal over the crowd as if they're going to bless the Republic of India and the people who are gathered out here. And the rose petal being showered right over us by helicopters as they are over the saluting dais, proceeding towards India Gate. That is the army, naval and the air force flag. And as the crowd is appreciating the helicopters fly past, all eyes are set on the Rajpath, and very thoughtful, very appreciative glances for the General commanding the parade, Major General Surendra Kumar Avasthi, AVSM, Officer commanding Delhi area, in the lead jeep, extremely proud to be presenting the salute to the Supreme Commander, and that is the Brigadier Father Bahadur Khatri, his second in command. That is General Avasthi in the lead jeep. There's the rose petal still showering over the jeep as they proceed, and there's the award-winning jeep carrying the winners of Paramveer Chakra, Ashok Chakra and the Victoria Cross in the Jongas, jeep Jongas, which are following the parade commander. And we have once again the various winners of Ashoka Chakra, the Paramveer Chakra, the Victoria Cross in front of us, and the President receiving the salute.
Indeed, these proud soldiers are from way back from the World War time, the Victoria Cross, and they are just crossing the saluting days. They have been honored for various acts of bravery and sacrifice, and one can now clearly see the mounted contingents now. Leading is the 61st Cavalry. In fact, it's the only horse-mounted cavalry in the world, is it not, Praful?
That's right. Perhaps is the only horse-mounted cavalry in the world which carries out operational duties too. And Captain Atul Gupta is commanding the cavalry. He presents his salute to the President of India with eyes right, mounted on his chargers with his navy blue tunic, white breeches, black boots, and yellow kamarband with yellow turban. Very smart. The horses absolutely keeping perfect, and the President is receiving the salute. And here is President receiving the salute of 61st Cavalry as it proceeds towards India Gate.
In fact, it is the distinction of being the first cavalry regiment to be raised in independent India and has participated actively in the wars of 1965 and 1971. The regiment had the honour being presented the guidon in March 1981 by Sri Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, the then President of India.
And that is the Army Service Mounted Contingent, which is commanded by Major Ashok Dhaya. For today, he calls eyes right and he'll present his salute to the President of India in his beautiful blue-grey tunic, white breeches, and blue and yellow turban. And these elegant horses of the cavalry have been used not only for military duties but also to carry out various sporting activities, and they brought laurels to the country in various international equestrian competitions. In fact, this regiment also have mules, and horses and mules carry out very important work.
And one can now clearly see the mechanized columns of the army right behind the mounted contingents, and leading it is the main battle tank, the Arjun, which has been inducted into the army of the 43rd Armoured Regiment. This tank is fully designed and developed by the Defence Research and Development Organisation and is rated as one of the 3 best tanks in the world. The contingent is being led by Captain Tarun Kumar Singh.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the tank?
Turret has just moved right, and you can see the turret has moved, and now the gun dips in a salute to the President, and that is a great honor for the regiment to be presenting the salute. The guns dip, the tank is in front of the President, and you can see the 120mm gun and 12.7mm anti-aircraft gun atop with a coaxial 7.62mm anti-personnel machine gun. And the Arjuns have a very low profile, and it adds to the stealth qualities in the tactical battle area. And this is the second column of tanks which is coming now, the T-72 M1 tanks commanded by Captain Samarth Nagar, who is leading the contingent. And this tank is a very fast tank, and Nalin, it can move at 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, and it has got a bigger gun, 125mm smoothbore gun, and which fires 3 different rounds. It fires high explosive, ammunition piercing round, and also an anti-tank explosive round. It can also ford water of 5 meters deep, and it has got the amphibious capabilities also. The T-72 tank is indeed a very versatile tank, and it has named Ajay. Here the gun has been dipped in salute. The lead tank always dips his gun in salute by turning the turret towards the President, and the other tanks remain as they are. The crew of the tank, of course, open the cupola and are saluting the President of India. This is the T-72 Ajay.
How marvelous the logo of 50 years and the Ashoka pillar look here in front of this entire parade.
It is very well designed, I must say, and this is again the guns now, which are now raising back to their original position.
All these mounted and the defense capabilities from the 3 wings, all of it shows the military might of this nation and the commitment of the armed forces in fighting the various battles and protecting the sovereignty and the integrity of the country.
You are right, Nalin. Historically, we have been very strong, and here we have another extremely versatile gun called 105mm field gun, which is right in front of us. And this gun can be taken into the tactical battle area and Captain Krishna KV, who is commanding the contingent, was in the lead field gun, and this is the crew of the other guns. The guns are towed by the Shaktiman truck, which is being manufactured in India, and this can fire around up to 17 kilometers, and it can fire 5 rounds per minute. That is a very lethal weapon indeed. And following this is a famous gun, the 155 millimeter FH-77B, which is commanded by Major Surinder Singh, now presenting salute to the President of India. Now, FH-77B is a field howitzer and is a very versatile weapon, and it can fire around up to 30 kilometers, which, when burst capability, is 3 rounds in 14 seconds. Now, that is a very lethal and a very accurate weapon. Here are the crews. The vehicle which is towing the gun, the Tatra vehicle, is a very powerful vehicle, but this gun can move on its own also. It has got its self-propelling capability. And after the FH-77B, Nalin, the most devastating weapon system in a battle area is the multi-barrel rocket launcher, which can launch close to 40 rockets in 20 seconds, and it can pulverize 1 square kilometer area in one salvo. So this is again a glimpse of the FH-77B on self-propulsion. It is moving without a towing vehicle, and there it is, the multi-barrel rocket launcher contingent 212 rocket regiment. Lieutenant Pradeep Goswami has presented this salute, and here are the proud crew of the Grad MBRL, which are sitting erect now. Shining vehicle, the Tatra with a graphite wheel, the graphite polished wheel, and the olive green color of the vehicle. It is indeed it shows the discipline and of the efficiency of the army.
And right behind the multi-barrel rocket launcher, one can clearly see the Prithvi missile, and the contingent is being led by Major Sunil Dheer. Clearly on our screens now, the Prithvi missile is a mobile state-of-the-art missile system which matches the best in the world. It's a surface-to-surface guided missile system, the pride of the country of the 333 missile group. The Prithvi missile, it has been developed by the Defense Research and Development Laboratory at Hyderabad. And it has a destructive ammunition which is capable of delivering a warhead of 1,000 kilograms up to a distance of 150 kilometers with deadly accuracy. Praful, I think it's been inducted already into the army.
That's right. It's already been inducted in the army, and army has deployed it in the 333 missile group, and the Air Force version has got a higher range, and this has got 150 kilometer range, and that is very effective for the tactical battle area operation of the army. And this missile now improves and increases the lethality of the strike power of India. And we, followed by the Prithvi missile, we have the Flycatcher radar system with L-70 guns, which is about to arrive in front of the DS. The Flycatcher radar is commanded by Captain Atul Brindra, and he's commanding the contingent. This was imported initially from Holland, but now this equipment is produced indigenously by the Bharat Electronics. The radar can control 2 L-70 guns simultaneously, and each gun can fire 40 millimeter caliber rounds at the rate of 300 rounds per minute at the invading aircraft. This is an anti-aircraft radar and weapon system. Smart soldiers, crew on the polished vehicle as they proceed towards India Gate. And we have the OSA AK weapon system commanded by Major S.K. Aich, which is now approaching the DS, and you can see the OSA AK weapon system, which is also a weapon system against attacking aircraft and low flying aircraft, and also attack helicopters. Now the OSA AK weapon system has got its own radar, which is very effective. The Flycatcher radar system, again, a glimpse of Flycatcher radar system is here.
And as you were just telling us, this is the OSA AK weapon system contingent. The officers now saluting the dais. The Honorable President of India, Shri K.R. Narayanan, taking the salute. The the Tatra vehicle which is towing the equipment here. And right behind that is coming the AM50 Assault Bridge and the PMS Bridge, which is mounted on a Tatra vehicle. It is being commanded by Captain Anil Kumar Verma. In fact, these bridges, in addition to their military use, also play a very important part in assisting civilian disasters, peacetime disasters or natural disasters, when the engineering corps of the armed forces lay down these bridges and re-establish communication when roads and other things break down.
That's right, Nalin. The AM50 equipment can bridge a gap of 13.5 meters, and the PMS bridge can bridge a gap of 200 meters. So it is very useful for the army when it moves on the terrain which is uneven.
And that is Captain Ishpal Singh Gill, commanding the Ashwathama and Digital Mobile Tropo, the equipment which is of the Corps of Signals.
The state-of-art.
State-of-art Army radio engineering network communication equipment capable of providing reliable communication in highly mobile operations. So very important to have communication, which has to be very reliable during both peace and wartime activity.
This provides a high-quality multi-channel communication, and it can provide reliable and secure communication of 24 speed channels, 32 telegraph, 4 computer data and 4 computer.
It is right in front of the saluting dais now and is manufactured by the Bharat Electronics Ghaziabad, very close to Delhi.
That is right, and it can control all the channels up to 85 kilometers under all weather conditions. So this is absolutely essential because, Nalin, the next war is going to be fought by the technical and electronic equipment.
And that is the BMP-2.
We have
with Captain Prashant Kapoor leading the contingent, which is basically the infantry combat vehicle BM-2 of the 9th Battalion of the Brigade of Guards. It's a fleet of infantry combat vehicles, which is the mainstay of the mechanized infantry. Besides a crew of 3, the vehicle carries 7 infantry men.
And this has got a capability, amphibious capability. It can operate in both on land and water, and that's what makes it very effective. And it can carry 30 millimeter cannon and Conquer anti-aircraft missile. It is the main armament of this vehicle, and this vehicle is absolutely essential in terrains where there is both water and land. So that is why it is a very, very versatile vehicle. This is the BMP-2 vehicle which proceeds now towards India Gate.
And one can see a beautiful panoramic view right from the top of India Gate.
That makes a lovely view of the entire parade from India Gate. And as the parade is proceeding towards the saluting dais, moving towards India Gate. And here is a glimpse of the marching contingent of Bombay Engineering Group called Bombay Sappers, commanded by Captain Atul Suryavanshi. Smart sappers, they comprise mainly of Marathas and Sikh troops. And since independence, the Bombay Engineering Group has won several gallantry awards, which include 1 Paramveer Chakra, 1 Ashoka Chakra, 5 Kirti Chakra, 7 Veer Chakra, 15 Shaurya Chakra, and the group was actively involved in United Nations peacekeeping. The President acknowledges the salute of the brave Bombay Engineering Group sappers. Watch the parade. And they are marching to a band called General Malik's March.
In fact, very smart. That's a view of the VIP enclosure. The Honorable President of India taking the salute. The visiting dignitary Jacques Chirac. That's the band playing General Malik's March, being led by Subedar Solomon Raj and Subedar A. Selvaraju. That's the Artillery Centre Hyderabad and Madras Engineering Group and Centre Band. It's a combined band right in front of the saluting dais in their bright coloured red. And that's the Brigade of the Guards being commanded by Captain Shehzada Kohli. This is the contingent of the Elite Brigade of Guards, the brainchild of the late Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa. He founded this first All-India All-Class Regiment in the true spirit of national integration. Right across the saluting dais, attired in colourful uniforms, these 6-footers, marching smartly past. It has a number of...
And following the Brigade of Guards is the Punjab Regiment, the oldest regiment of Indian Army, commanded by Major Sanjeev Singh. It is one of the most highly decorated regiments with 53 battle honours, 18 Mahavir Chakra, 15 Veer Chakra and 9 Kirti Chakra, 29 Shaurya Chakra, 1 Uttam Yudh Seva medal and other medals. This this Punjab regiment contingent is marching to the tune Queen of the Battle, played by Grenadiers Regimental Centre, Mechanized Infantry Regimental Centre bands, commanded by Subedar Major Hem Raj and Naib Subedar Pankaj Kumar. They are playing the tune Queen of the Battle. Queen of the Battle is the most appropriate tune for the infantry, and the band is followed by the Grenadiers Regiment, commanded by Lieutenant H. Rajkumar, now presenting the salute to President of India. And it lives up to the motto, Sarvada Shaktishali, forever strong. The men of the regiment have earned, among other two, Paramveer Chakras, Veer Chakras, 5 Mahavir Chakras and 36 Veer Chakra, 2 Ashoka Chakra and 4 Kirti Chakra.
And right behind them, one can now clearly see the Jat regiment, commanded by Captain Surendra Singh Shekhawat, one of the oldest regiments of the Indian Army. Bestowed with the President's colours in 1967, this regiment has earned 30 battle honours and 1 Victoria Cross in the pre-independence era, 5 battle honours, 7 Mahavir Chakras and a host of other gallantry awards has been won by the regiment in the post-independence period, speaking volumes about its achievements. And right behind them, coming up, will be the band of the Maharatha Light Infantry Regimental Centre and 14th Gorkha Training Centre, playing the tune Veer Jat and led by Subedar Major Shyam Bahadur Thapa and Subedar K. Uttam.
And the band is followed by the smart Sikh regiment, commanded by Major Om Prakash Sumra. The brave soldiers of the regiment have won 2 Paramveer Chakra, 14 Veer Chakras, 58 Veer Chakras, 2 Ashoka Chakra and 10 Victoria Cross, besides other awards. Indeed, an exceptionally brave regiment and one of the oldest and the finest regiments with their red puggree. This Sikh regiment is followed by the Dogra regiment, commanded by Lieutenant Vikramjit Singh Kochar. And this has got 12 battle honours since independence. To mention a few, they are the pride recipients of 9 Mahavir Chakra, 37 Veer Chakra, 1 Ashoka Chakra and 4 Kirti Chakra. And all battalions of the regiment have the distinction of having earned the President's colour. Right in front of us is now coming the band of Maha Regimental Centre and 11 Gorkha Regimental Centre, playing the very apt tune called 26 January, led by Subedar Sukh Bahadur Gurung and Subedar Chandra Bahadur.
And immediately behind the band is the Maha Regiment, being led by Major Sandeep Rao. Marching elegantly shoulder to shoulder, this regiment has produced 2 chiefs of the army staff, namely General K.V. Krishna Rao and General K. Sundarji. What an honour indeed to this regiment, which has participated in World War II and other post-independence operations. And following them, we can clearly see the Jammu and Kashmir Light Infantry. Led by leading the contingent is Captain Sean Kane O'Brien. Marching smartly, these proud Jawans of the Jammu and Kashmir Light Infantry approaching the saluting dais with their red turbans. Right in front of the saluting dais at the moment, it's one of the youngest regiments of the Indian Army, which has taken part in the 1948, 65 and 1971 operations and won many laurels.
And behind them, of course, we have now the Prime President Jacques Chirac appreciating the march past, and we have the band of Jammu and Kashmir Light Regimental Centre and Army Medical Corps Centre and School Band, playing Kadam Kadam Badhaye Ja, led by Subedar Arun Kumar and Subedar Tek Bahadur Khadka. And this is followed by 5/8 Gorkha Rifle contingent, commanded by Captain Dhananjit Huidrom. This has produced the first Field Marshal SFJ Manik Shaw. Ayo Gorkhali is the war cry of these brave soldiers, short and stocky and exceptionally brave. And the Gorkha soldiers are followed by the Army Ordnance Corps contingent, led by Captain Lieutenant Captain K. Panagal. This regiment has earned the world record of rowing a distance of 2,385 kilometers from Hardwar to Hooghly. Exceptionally brave of ordnance soldiers. And this is the band now of 1st Electrical and Mechanical Engineer Centre and Army Ordnance Corps Centre and School, playing the tune Arjun, led by Subedar Major Hari Prasad and Subedar Lal Singh in their red tunic and blue trousers. This is followed by
the Territorial Army, yes, the 119 Infantry Battalion, led by Captain Kavarait Panto Marak, The battalion has served with distinction during the Chinese aggression of 1962, the Indo-Pak War of 65 and 71. And right behind is the Naval Band, the Navy Band, which is led by Master Chief Petty Officer Hira Singh Karki. It's marching to the tune of Jai Bharati, played by the renowned Indian Navy Band. Very smart indeed. It's in their black, white, shining gold ceremonial attire, looking very smart. And clearly behind them we can now see that's Lieutenant Commander Subhash Datta of the Navy Marching Contingent, leading it, comprising 144 sailors drawn from the Eastern, Western and Southern commands. The Indian Navy is a sophisticated three-dimensional service ever alert in defending India's maritime frontiers, playing a vital role in protecting and strengthening our large exclusive economic zone spread over an area of 2.2 million square kilometers. And now comes the Navy Vehicular Column. The first tableau has two models of the latest warships of the Indian Navy, the INS Delhi and a model of the INS Brahmaputra, now clearly on our screen. A guided missile frigate built at the Garden Reach Shipyard, Calcutta, which will join the Navy this year. That's INS Delhi, which is the first of the three guided missile destroyers built at Mazagon Docks, Mumbai. Looking so beautiful through those trees. Another view of the Rajpath. And that is the Seahawk, the Air Force marching contingent. And we can see the Seahawk at the moment, right in front of the saluting dais. We can now see the Air Force marching contingent led by Squadron Leader V.R. Sampath. Very smart indeed, comprising a squadron of 144 airmen of the Indian Air Force in their ceremonial dress. They are in a box formation of 12 abreast and 12 deep, marching smartly to the tune Vijay Bharat. Right across the saluting dais, and that's the Air Force Band led by Sergeant Deepal, playing the tune Vijay Bharat. Just crossing the saluting dais. And immediately following the band will be the Air Force Vehicular Column. Right from the beginning, among the first aircrafts, right to the present, and yes, leading it is the Tiger Moth, one of the most famous trainer aircrafts which has trained pilots in over 30 to 35 countries. The pilot in command is Flight Lieutenant Jinidhar Singh Lochab. That's the Tiger Moth aircraft, a two-seater trainer aircraft which formed a vital part of the Indian Air Force from 1939 to 1957. Just in front of the saluting dais, followed by the Harvard trainer, yet another trainer aircraft of the yesteryears, which served the Air Force from 1942 to 1975. The Harvard is led by pilot officer Suman Roy Chaudhary. Very famous aircraft indeed. This is the historical part, and that's the Spitfire, a single-seater multi-role fighter aircraft. The Spitfire, pilot officer Sandeep Singh Dhull commanding it. That's the Spitfire again, right in front of the saluting dais. Considered as one of the greatest aircraft ever built, it gained immortality in the skies during the Battle of Britain during World War II. And immediately behind the Spitfire, now we have the HT-2. Flying Officer Sanjeev Sharma on our screen. That's the HT-2, right in front of the saluting dais. A twin-seater trainer aircraft which served the nation for 37 years. It has been used extensively for training over 5,000 pilots. And one can now see the Vampire, the twin-seater night fighter that flew over the Indian skies from 1948 to 1975. Flying Officer Vikram Singh Pawar on our screen with the Vampire. Initially known as the Spider Crab, it was the second jet fighter developed in Britain. With its induction in the IAF, the Indian Air Force, it had become the first Asian force to fly the jets. As the Vampire, followed by the Mystère, the French-built Mystère, which is a single-seater interceptor fighter bomber, replaced the Tufanis in India. And the Mystère Flying Officer Kuldheer Singh Deshwal, right in front of the saluting dais. They carried out excellent strikes and ground attacks during the Indo-Pak conflicts of 1965 and 1971. That's the Mystère, a better view of that. The colors of the Indian Air Force, the ensign and emblem. view of the dignitaries here near the saluting dais. And right behind that, what we now see is the Nat, nicknamed as the Sabre Killer after the 1965 operations. The Nat is being commanded by Flying Officer Vijay Singh Shokeen. This aircraft served the Indian Air Force between 1958 and 1991 with great distinction in both the 1965 and 1971 Indo-Pak conflicts. The only Paramveer Chakra awarded to the Indian Air Force was to a Nat pilot, Flying Officer Nirmaljit Singh Chekdo, and that's the HF-24, also called the Marut. Flight Lieutenant Mohit Sachdeva, flying in the Indian Air Force from 1967 to 1983. It was India's first home-designed combat jet fighter, manufactured by the Hindustan Aeronauticals Limited. And behind it, we can clearly see the Jaguar aircraft with missiles, with magic missiles, cluster bombs and rocket pods. That is the Jaguar, Flight Lieutenant Rajesh Walia. The Jaguar now saluting the Honorable President of India, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. A lethal aircraft indeed, which is a single-seater high-wing military aircraft provided with 2 turbofan engines. That's the Honorable President of India, Shri K.R. Narayanan, taking the salute as the Jaguar aircraft just about crossing the saluting dais. Its armament comprises of 2 30mm cannons and a variety of weapons slung on 5 underwing stations. And we can now see the MiG-21 BIS. MiG-21 BIS. The pilot in command is Flight Lieutenant Baljinder Singh Bhullar. It is fitted with electronic equipment. It's an all-weather aircraft capable of day and night operations. The aircraft can attain an airspeed of 1,300 kilometers per hour and a ceiling height of 19 kilometers. Just crossing the saluting dais, the Honorable President of India, the President of France, Jacques Chirac, and the Prime Minister. And this is the MiG-27M Bahadur. The pilot in command is Flight Lieutenant Pramod Malik. It's a Hive, can travel at an amazing speed of 1,300 kilometers per hour and also fly at low altitudes. High rate of fire and is capable of carrying bombs. And this is the Lakshya pilotless target aircraft. Looking very colorful indeed, approaching the saluting dais. It has been designed and developed by the Aeronautical Development Establishment, ADE, and it meets the training needs of all the 3 services in respect of gun and missile crews. It in fact stimulates a realistic enemy threat to the personnel being trained. At the end of the mission, Lakshya is recovered on a recovery command initiation by a 2-stage para-recovery system over land or water. The Lakshya just crossing the saluting dais, and that's the ex-servicemen's marching contingent. Men who have laid the prime of their youth to the service of the nation. Their chest up, chins high, they are marching with confidence as they are approaching the saluting base. What a proud moment indeed for them. And the contingent is led by Subedar Major Honorary Captain Mahadev Surve. The ex-servicemen's marching contingent right in front of the saluting dais. Thunderous applause greeting them, indeed so befitting of these men who have laid the prime of their lives serving the nation. A very proud moment for them. They are followed by the band of the massed pipes and drums. Subedar Babu Ram Payab is leading this group, and they are playing the tune The Koraron Men. Right in front of the saluting dais, the sounds of the massed pipes and drums swirling in the air, we see a majestic column of them from various regiments of the Indian Army, drawn from the Artillery Centre Hyderabad, 1 Signal Training Centre, Guard Regimental Centre, Punjab Regimental Centre, 21 Rajputana Rifles, Jat Regimental Centre, 8 Sikh Regiment and 16 Dogra Regiment. And now approaching are the paramilitary and other auxiliary civil services. Leading are the Border Security Force, led by Deputy Commandant Pushpinder Singh Rathore. These brave and valiant Praharis in their colourful uniforms have been drawn from the 8 frontiers of the BSF.
And they are followed by the Border Security Force Camel Contingent, Nalin, the ship of the desert. And this is what makes BSF so effective. Colourfully accoutred camels in their colourful attire, commanded by Deputy Commandant Fateh Singh Rathore. These ships of the deserts can carry out their duties in all weather and the desert terrain, and as they come in front of the Ashoka pillar, Deputy Commandant Fateh Singh Rathore presents his salute to the President of India by dipping his sword. And the camel-mounted troops have been instrumental in successfully tracking down several notorious smugglers and extremists in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Here they're carrying the rifles, straight in the white tunic, black boots, and the camels walking absolute majestically in a straight line. Must be very well trained. Nalin, what do you think of the training?
Absolutely, and you can see the Border Security Force Camel Band. It's the only band of its kind in the world. In fact, it's a unique band. They are playing the tune Hum Hai Seema Suraksha Bal. And the bandmaster is Sub-Inspector Hasan Khan Zina. There he is, saluting the days, the Honorable President of India. What a marvelous band. Do you not say so? Praful, so colourful.
In fact, Nalin, the number of tourists who come to India to just witness this band, it's phenomenal. And behind them is the Assam Rifles, the oldest paramilitary force which is led by Major Shamsher Singh Sihag. The Assam Rifles have earned 3 Ashoka Chakras, 29 Kirti Chakra, 5 Veer Chakra and 98 Shaurya Chakra and 114 Sena Medal. The tall Major Shamsher Singh Sihag presents eyes right and will dip his sword. There he is. Exceptional piece of marching, very smart in their Malaysian grey shirts, red sash and their Gurkha jungle hats. Of course, they're common to both Assam and Gurkhas. And they're the friends of hill people and act as catalysts. And behind them is the band of Assam Rifles playing Assam Rifle. The tune is called Assam Rifle, commanded by Naib Subadar Robin Gurung. Naib Subadar Robin Gurung is indeed very proud and smart today, and he's marching past the presidential dais, followed by the Coast Guard marching contingent commanded by Deputy Commandant I.S. Chauhan, who presents his salute to the President of India. The Coast Guard is responsible for protection of maritime interests of the country, covering a vast area of 29 million square kilometers. There it is. President receiving the salute from the Coast Guard. The assigned task of the Coast Guard includes anti-smuggling, anti-poaching, and behind the Coast Guard we have the Rapid Action Force marching contingent of the Mahila. The Deputy Commandant commanding this contingent is Deputy Commandant Annie R. Thomas. The average height of this contingent is 5 feet 7 inches, speaks very high of this selection, and the force is raised and equipped and trained to handle communal riots and other similar situations most effectively. And this is followed by the Central Reserve Police Force Band, commanded by Inspector Gandharv Singh, and playing the tune Seva Bhakti ke ye pratik CRPF kehlate hain.
Absolutely, the band looking so colourful, red, and the Honourable President, Shri K.R. Narayanan, taking the salute. How wonderful it is, absolutely, such a colourful parade, and right behind them is the CRPF marching contingent, led by Deputy Commandant Vinay Kumar Rai. Leading this contingent, the average height of the men in this is about 6 feet. Raised in 1939, the CRPF has the highest tally of medals received by a police force, which includes 1 George Cross, 1 Veer Chakra, 1 Padma Shri, 3 King's Police Medals, 49 Fire Service Medals. The force has been in the forefront of action whenever there has been danger from external aggressors or internal turmoil, and that's the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, led by Deputy Commandant S.S. Harta. They are also called the Sentinels of Snow Mountains. Raised on the 24th of October 1962 to man the country's northern borders, the ITBP is deployed on the border ahead of other forces. A highly decorated organization, it has an impressive record in the field of mountaineering and skiing. In fact, a number of ITBP expeditions have been launched on Mount Everest and other high peaks of the world. Is that not so, Praful?
That's right. The lady who climbed the Mount Everest twice belongs to ITBP, and we have the ITBP band playing Hum Sarhad Ke Prahari, led by Inspector L.B. Thapa. And here is Inspector L.B. Thapa with his ITBP band playing Hum Sarhad Ke Prahari in olive green uniform, yellow sash, kamarbunds, and it's given, and it proceeds towards India Gate, and we have the Central Industrial Security Force. Assistant Commandant Neeraj Kumar Singh just presented the salute to the President of India, and this contingent belongs to CSIF, which provides security cover to key industrial undertakings like steel, oil, coal power and heavy engineering establishments. This is another view of the CISF contingent, and now we have the RPF, Railway Protection Force, commanded by Assistant Security Commissioner Surendra Nath Chowdhury, and they are marching in front of the President's dais. The RPF works round the clock to secure traffic on the Indian railways and the National Lifeline. The crack units of the force initially were called the Special Emergency Force, and they are followed by the Delhi Police Band. The Delhi Police Band is commanded by Inspector Lakshman Singh for today, and it's playing the tune Delhi Police Song. Let's enjoy the song.
Just crossing the saluting dais, the Delhi Police Band. And right behind them, we can now see the Delhi Police marching contingent led by Shri Madhup Tiwari of the Indian Police Service. Policemen are carrying 303 rifles on their shoulders from a height of 5 feet 11 inches to 6 feet 2 inches. This is a 145 men strong column. In fact, since the inception of the Best Marching Contingent Trophy in 1987 at Republic Day, they have had the distinction of bagging the trophy for the paramilitary forces 9 out of 11 times. And that's the Home Guards marching contingent commanded by Deputy Superintendent of Police Shri A.K. Raina. Just behind the Delhi Police marching contingent, a contingent of the Jammu and Kashmir Home Guards comprising 144 Jawans. They represent the single largest uniformed voluntary force of the country, comprising of 13 lakh volunteers. 1.3 million volunteers, indeed very large. Their motto is Nishkam Seva, and they have rendered yeoman service to the nation during peace, war and natural calamities. A very, very important contingent indeed. And that's the Home Guard contingent right in front of the saluting dais. The logo of 50 years of independence right behind them. People from all walks of life witnessing them. And coming up, we can now see the National Cadet Corps, the boys of the senior division of the Army, Navy and Air Force. That's in the distance, coming towards India Gate from Rashtrapati Bhavan side. They are led by Senior Under Officer Vijay Kumar of the Punjab NCC Directorate. Why don't you tell us a little bit about NCC?
NCC is an outstanding symbol of national integration, Dalek, and an excellent nurturing ground for the armed forces, and also strives to make the youth a good citizen. And anybody who has been through NCC, Nalin, I assure you, never indulges in any of those indisciplined activities which we generally hear about. And here it is, the olive green jersey, khaki trousers, white anklets, black boots, white gloves, and olive green beret with a red pom-pom, red sash. That makes a very colorful uniform for the NCC cadets.
How wonderful it is for these youngsters to be part of the marching contingent.
The Senior Under Officer Vijay Kumar is now going to present his salute to the President of India. There he is, calling eyes right. He'll cut his arm smartly. There he is. This is called proper training and proper discipline. Indeed, they are very smart. We can see very, very smart sergeants and corporals, and they have earned their ranks very, of course. And we can see behind them the Air Force NCC cadets also mingle with the Army cadets. It's a combined NCC contingent. Yes. And this is the band of Dogra Regimental Centre and Jat Regimental Centre playing very apt the NCC March. This band is led by Subedar Major Ramesh Chandra and Subedar Suresh Chandra, and they have got their crimson tunic, the navy blue trousers with the red stripes and beautiful pagris, and they are followed by the National Cadet Corps girls commanded by Senior Under Officer Payal Sharma of Andhra NCC. Again, a very smart outfit, and they are right in front of us. They will be presenting, they have presented the salute and they have got also the Air Force element. And here we have small NCC, small group, small children. Of course, they belong to the National Service Scheme contingent, which is now approaching the dais, and they were launched in 1969. This youth program aims at arousing social consciousness of the youth with an overall objective of personality development. And after the service contingent is the mass pipes and drums playing Desho Ka Sartaj Bharat, led by Subedar Leelu Ram. This is crimson tunic and blue-grey trouser.
Just crossing the saluting dais. That is the massed pipes and drums band commanded by Subedar Leelu Ram, and that is the band of the Birla Balika Vidyapeeth Pilani, led by Cadet Sergeant Major Nipur Nika Singh. These young girls are playing the tune Darjeeling Song. That's a wonderful view of them. These young girls also are part of the NCC, and they perform every year in the NCC Republic Day camp, which is organized in the month of January. Very fine band indeed.